Hey everybody, my name is Ebony Green. I am here with Cornelius Williams, the president of the Resurgence Leadership Foundation. It's a little bit of a mouthful. I'm also here with Curt, his VP at the Resurgence Leadership Foundation. A few months ago, Curt called Corn and said, let's create a video series about talking good, about making good louder, about pursuing better relationships and better communities, and now we're here. So today we're going to be talking to Curt and Corn about their relationship, about what it means and what it looks like to have a friendship and a thriving relationship in spite of differences, stark differences. So Corn, tell me your favorite Curt and Corn story.
I've known Curt for a while. It happened probably around 2011. I had started the foundation, and in all sense and purposes, if you were evaluating it, it was failing. We weren't bringing in the amount of money that I would hope for. We weren't getting the reach I was hoping for, and I was just really feeling bad. I officed with Curt and my friend Mark, and one night I was just in my space, not feeling really positive, and we were talking. And for the record, Ebony, I don't really get up off a lot of my private feelings like that. And so Curt, we've been doing Young Guns together, good friends together, and that night, we just talked, and I just shared, shared my heart. And the thing that just was so transformative for me is that Curt didn't see me as failure, but as friend. And it was palpable. I mean, I'm not sure, I couldn't tell you what words he said, but I really felt like I was able to be truly, authentically who I was, where I was in the moment, and be loved and received and welcomed and encouraged. And I'll never, ever forget that.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing to feel seen and known. Curt, tell me, what's one of the things that people would find hard to believe about you and Corn's relationship?
I think the biggest thing, obviously we live in different communities. We come from different backgrounds. We see the world somewhat differently, but we still love each other, and we have deep conversations on some of these topics that people struggle with. And we're able to overcome any conversation we have because we know that we can have an open conversation without being judged. And we can have our thoughts and feelings and just talk through those.
So what are some of the differences that you guys have had to overcome in your friendship? Just kind of face head on and talk it out.
He's a big LeBron James fan, and I can't stand LeBron James. I'm just kidding.
Hey, LBJ, love you, bro. Love you, LBJ. Probably one of the ones, Ebony, that we've come back that was really, really trying was politics. I mean, I would say that Curt and I come from different communities and vote differently. And so we would have some really frank conversations. I remember one, we were comparing, President Bush and President Obama and just the differences and the impact that those had. And, and then it would turn into black, white, and just different views. And those race, politics, and those can be contentious. And we both have opinions and strong opinions, and we feel a certain type of way. But even though it could be tense, we still would try to work through that tension and continue to return to our relationship. But there'd be times, I wouldn't say that Curt and I voted the same way.
Yeah, I would, something very interesting in a relationship. We believe very similarly a lot of things.
Yeah.
We see the world differently on a lot of things because I guess our upbringing, and that's just something you've learned through relationships. How can how can we believe the same thing strongly? I think we have strong, equal beliefs, but we vote differently on different, different things. And it is interesting just because of the way we view society and view the world is somewhat different, and it's eye-opening at times.
So, you guys keep talking about voting. How important is how a person votes in reference to the relationship that you're able to build with them, right? So if you vote for this person, I can't be your friend, or if you vote for this person, then, I'll be your friend, but from a distance, or we can be friends. We just can't talk about that. Like, how does that, because you keep bringing it up. So how does it impact your relationship?
It has, I think it zero impact to our relationship. I think we can have open conversation about it, but our relationship's so much more vast than how we vote. And I think if you have a strong relationship, I think, personally, I don't think it's, it's a personal decision. You go and you make that vote, but I think the relationship should be much stronger than how someone votes. As long as you can, and I don't think it even matters if you can understand their other side or not. I mean, it should be just you love that person so much that, I mean, this relationship. If Corn said, I don't know if I'd be friends with you because of if you vote that way, well, then I would have to rethink that vote. But he's never. Our relationship's so strong that I don't think we'd ever ask either of us to make that decision. If he did, I mean, I would definitely reconsider how I was voting.
Really? Wow.
I mean, because his opinion means a lot to me.
Yeah, that's substantial. I always like to talk about tactics, right? So tactically, right? Give me 1 to 2 things that you guys always do, or that you would tell other people to do when they are looking at strengthening a relationship that has differences and really strong opinions or perspectives.
Yeah, I'll say what Stephen Covey says, because I do think it's really important, is you first seek to understand, then to be understood. And I mean, I work hard. If I value Curt, then I must also try to understand, where he comes from. I mean, I've done a lot of research and reading about things that I didn't necessarily grow up being exposed to, because it's important to Curt. Just because it's important to him. I mean, because I value him, I'm going to learn about it. Whether I agree with it or not, that's a different thing. But I have to at least understand it. And so I would just say, if anyone is seeking to develop a genuine, authentic, transformative relationship, then you must work hard to try to go over and above to understand beyond your own self. And then I would say this, the other thing tactically is take the risk to be honest about what you believe. Because if I'm really going to be here with Curt, I have to show up. What I believe, what I think, how I feel, and then that's when you realize and test the relationship. Because if you don't really bring all of who you are, then you're not really testing, whether or not the foundation of the relationship is solvent. And so I would just say, yeah, understand, and then really be honest about what you believe. And probably the third thing I would say too is, which I believe this is, when you disagree, how do you respond then? Well, because again, Curt just said it, man, we don't always agree.
Yeah, and I think you have to test a relationship to see if it's authentic or not. And it made me think of a verse, Proverbs 27:17, iron sharpens iron as one man sharpens another. I mean, as we sharpen each other, we're better individuals, I think, for our family, our communities, and other areas at the same time.
Yeah.
Ebony, one last thing I'd say is this too: sharpening, not cutting.
No, it's good.
Because I do think that people are reckless with the weapons, with our words, with our thoughts, with our reactions. And so, yeah, sharpen is the strategy and the outcome. Cutting It don't, man. It ain't. You know, it
Yeah.
don't. It don't say cut somebody.
Yeah, it's
So
good. I like that. So understanding, testing, and then awareness, right? Like knowing how you're speaking to someone and how they're receiving your words. Seriously, I pray for a relationship as strong as yours that someone would even consider changing their perspective in order to continue to have access to love me and for me to love them back. That's substantial. That's substantial relationship and substantial friendship. So thanks for your time. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.